Hello, welcome to Library Line, your connection to the Conneaut community. I'm Kathy Pape, Executive Director of the library, and your host for Library Line. One world, many stories. That's the theme for this year's summer reading program at the Conneaut Public Library. This show is all about the summer reading program. And you know what? It's not just about all the fun that the kids are going to have on that side of the library. It's about everything we're going to do also on the adult side of the library to make sure that your family has all the materials necessary to really make this program interesting. It is so much fun. One world, many stories. And isn't that the truth? You know, that's the thing I'm sure you're hearing a lot about, is that our children are part of a global community, that they're going to be competing in a global market. And it does matter that they're exposed to different traditions, different cultures, just different heritage. So when they join our summer reading program, Steph and Pam will make sure that they do get that exposure to different cultures through songs, through folk tales, through stories, through puppet shows, hands-on activities. All of it will be right here at the Conneaut Public Library and done in such a fun way that there's just no reason in the world that you wouldn't want to be a part of it. Plus, as you know, all of our programs here are free at the library. So I love this. Your children will come one day a week and visit the library for this free program, and each week visit a different country and different culture. Plus, while all that is going on over there, on the adult side of the library, we will make sure that we are ready and willing to help you, maybe pick up that cookbook or, something about geography of the area that the children are visiting, so you can kind of pull that information back into your home life and really make it a complete picture of what's going on here at the library. Plus, our other goal, too, to have your children here this summer is to make sure that they have a good time. What a gift that you could give them would be to come to the library and learn how to use the library. It is a gift that will stay with them throughout their lives, no matter where they're going to go in the world after they graduate high school and graduate college. They will be prepared because they will be familiar with the library setting. They will know how to find the information that they need, whether it is for school or for work or for their own entertainment or families. What a gift. I love working at the library. I don't know if you can tell that. I mean, it is that important. And it starts right now, this summer, right here at the Conneaut Public Library. So please, you're going to want to stay tuned for that. I do have to say, all of our programs that we do in the youth department, that is fully funded through all of the fundraisers that we do throughout the year. Plus, Steph Gildone does send out a very nice letter to all of the clubs, businesses, organizations here in our fine community. And she does ask for donations. And, I hate to sit, here in your TV and beg you for that. But, it is for the kids. Over 300 children will be taking part in this year's summer reading program, which, like I said, is free. All of the stories, all of the events, the snacks, the fun, it is all free. Plus, there's cool prizes as incentives. We've got to give these kids a little bit of incentive to read. We really do need your help, and it's not too late to donate. So if you could, and even if you're not a club or business or whatever, even an individual, I mean, if you could spare a couple of bucks and donate those dollars to the library, I promise we will stretch it just as far as we can. But like I said, this whole show is going to be about all of the cool things going on in the library, and I have to sit here and show you guys, this is our new arrival section. When you come in the doors to the library and you're looking at the circ desk, to your left is our new arrival section. Now, it's always been here, but we've done a little bit of a twist on it, and we're trying to jazz it up for you. We're trying to make it a little more user-friendly. Make it look like your bookcase at home or your bookcase at your friend's house that you like to paw through. So what we've done is just kind of created a browsing section. All of the new books, whether they are fiction or nonfiction, will arrive right here in this section. So you're going to find the hottest fiction if it's not already on hold. Plus, we'd like to pull some of the back titles if, that new hot fiction nonfiction book is out, maybe you want to start a little earlier and read the predecessors to it, we'll make sure we pull those as well. Plus, like I said, all of the nonfiction, and sometimes you just don't really even know what you're looking for, but what we've tried to do is create an area where you can pick up, doesn't matter where you put it back down, and which drives us in the library a little bit crazy, but we're going to try it. We also put chairs in front of this section so if you find something, you can sit and you can look through the book, decide if you want it. But let me tell you, it's all free, so why don't you just take it with you, and you can do that at home. So we're always going to try to keep this fresh. This should be your first place to look when you come into the library, and I do hope you do check it out, because just sitting here right now, I see some things I haven't seen before, so I might have to check some of those things out after our show today. Whew, I know we have a lot going on, as usual, but on a serious note, I want to tell everybody how deeply saddened we are here at the library to lose a dear friend, Henry Ogrodnichek. And, you know, if it weren't for Henry, we wouldn't have this show. Henry was the first person in my office when we pitched our proposal for Library Line. And I am not kidding you when I say he was in my office within an hour, and we were scheduling to do our show. And he was always a great supporter of the library, and with the show, he taught us absolutely everything we know and what we're doing. And we were so blessed to have him in our lives, and in Conneaut, they just lost such a valuable resource in Henry, but he has spread that knowledge. He never held on to it. You know, he spread that knowledge, and that's just such a theme of a library, you know, really it is. So today's entire show is dedicated in memory of Henry Ogrodnichek, and we miss you, Henry.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy, and today on Here's How, I am going to ask you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and try something different. Our summer reading program is One World, Many Stories, and each week when a child celebrates a country, you at home can make something from that country. And we have the sources here for you. I chose recipes from these cookbooks that I have on display here. And a lot of the recipes are just simple, so that maybe when your child comes home from story hour, you can try something and see if they would like something from that country. Our first week, we're going to go to Finland. And I chose a recipe right here called Strawberry Snow. And this one, the recipe called for raw egg whites in it, but being the danger of salmonella, I didn't know if anybody knew that out there we have something called meringue powder, and this is a artificial egg white. So I use this in place of the real egg white, so that rules out that danger. All right. The next place we're going to be going to is Ireland. And right here I had made Irish soda bread. Now the main ingredient in this is baking soda. Not main ingredient, I shouldn't say. One of the ingredients is baking soda. That's why it's called soda bread. And this is popular food in Ireland. And I just cut a slice and put a little bit of jam on there. The next place we're going to the week of July 11th is Italy. And this is called tomato mustard sauce. And what's in this is tomato, mustard, a little bit of sugar, vinegar, and garlic. And they recommend you can serve it on top like your hot dogs or your hamburgers. The week of, July 18th, we're going to India. And one of the popular things in India is mango. And this right here is a mango yogurt drink. It has mangoes, yogurt, honey, and lime. And you put it in a blender and serve with a mango garnish. I think I might drink this when I'm done here. This looks really good to me. And the last place we're going to, July 25th, is China. This dessert right here is called coconut custard. And it's a bowl of sticky rice with coconut custard and brown sugar. Now they call for something called palm sugar or jaggery sugar, which is popular there, but We don't have that here. So I just use, they say you can replace it with brown sugar. So that's what I did on that recipe. So I think you'd like to maybe give some of these recipes a try. They all look good, and the staff is all standing around just waiting to dig in when I'm done here. So before I go, though, I'm begging you for your junk in the trunk items. So don't forget, if you have that leftover garage sale thing, bring it in. We can use it. Our junk in the trunk sale is June 18th. So hope to see you there. Bye.
Hi, it's Vicki with Weird and Wacky Conneaut History. Oh, and today's focus is on the summer reading program, One World and Many Stories. Now, Steph's going to be taking the kids to many countries over the summer, and one of the countries she's visiting is Finland. So I thought I would share with you some interesting things about our Finnish population here in Conneaut. Now, they migrated here, in the 1890s, mostly from a group that had settled in Ashtabula. They came here for economic reasons and for freedom of religion, that kind of thing. And they worked at the P&C Dock Company and had a small community in the harbor area. One of the problems with the people that were here, they were mostly young single men, and they probably frequented the 33 saloons that were in the area a little too often. So they decided they needed a temperance society and a place to meet for other social reasons. So in 1897, they started to build the Kilpie Hall, and the construction was completed around 1899. And they had many meetings there, musical groups and whatever. When I was doing the research on Kilpie Hall, I came across an article where they talked where the Finn Temperance Society held its first regular meeting on Tuesday night, and it consisted of speeches and songs and papers. And the subject was the effect of alcohol on the system on our fellow man. And then right below that is an article for the Drunkard Convention in Ottawa, Kansas, May 26th to the 28th. The Nickel Plate Road offers a superb passenger service with magnificent sleeping cars, unexcelled diners, splendidly equipped trains, and special excursion rates. Now, this Drunkard Convention, I don't know whether it was for drunkards or because it was a beginning of the AA Society or something, but I just thought that the juxtaposition of the two articles was a little interesting. So anyway, I hope the kids are going to come and enjoy all the visits to the many countries that Steph's going to take them to, and I'll see you next time for Weird and Wacky Conneaut History.
And now it's time for Spotlight on the Community. I'm joined now by Priscilla Effner. She's an advisor at Kent State. Hi, Priscilla.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Priscilla and I met back at the Conneaut Business Expo that the Chamber did. So we've been talking since then about doing some programming here at the library.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we have planned?
Okay, we have planned some seminars, some workshops called Finding Your Future, and we're going to discuss the different type of schools that are available to go on for different careers. We're going to discuss the funding that's available, how to kind of assess your strengths and weaknesses, and how you can apply your strengths to this new venture as far as your organization, your time management, some of the resources that a lot of these schools have to help you develop your weaknesses, and the accessibility, like what do you need to do to be able to go to school to learn to be a cosmetologist, or what do you need to learn, or what do you need to do, who do you need to talk to, what money's available to go to school to maybe become an electrician or a dental hygienist, or to get your bachelor's degree or associate's degree.
You know, and I really like this because our summer reading program theme is One World, Many Stories, and we talked about at the beginning of the show how our children are basically competing in a global market.
Yes.
And, you know, it really is that important to start thinking about where do I want to be? How do I fit in? And then how do I get there? And
Right.
so what this workshop is going to do is take that individual. It doesn't matter how old. I mean, you know, from high school and on up to someone that's a little older, where maybe you're not doing exactly what you want to be doing.
Right.
And so it's for everybody. So basically, you know, to come in and assess, you know, who you are and really where you want to be, right?
And a lot of times we have even retirees that maybe have retired, but they're still able-bodied, still able-minded, and they want to contribute their experiences, or they want to transition into a whole different arena, but they have a life experience and they want to go back and learn something new. How do they go back? You know, how do you go back into this new technological educational system? And it's a lot of adapting the skills you already have to the new environment.
And that was really cool too, because when Priscilla was talking with us about, you know, how this workshop works, I mean, that's what it's all about. Is sometimes people think, well, I don't have the skills to do this, or I have no idea what you were talking about. But once they sit down with you, they realize they've already been doing things that could certainly be applied in a classroom schedule or classroom setting, or, you know, whatever it is that thing that they're going to go into.
Right, and often if it's something you're leaning towards, more than likely it's because you have that type of learning. Like if you want to go and learn how to do cosmetology, more than likely you've had an interest in that area anyway, so you have more than common knowledge in that area. If you're interested in going for an electrical job or electrical education, more than likely you've been interested in it anyway. If it's something like fixing a car, you're probably going to go in and be fascinated by the classes. It's the fact that it's in an educational setting that sometimes is most intimidating to people, and they don't realize that their confidence in another area can be transferred into the educational setting, because more than likely they're interested in the material they're going to be studying.
And, you know, what I also like too about this is that, you know, it's going to be, you know, a small workshop where it is one-on-one, where everybody will feel comfortable to be able to exactly tell you where they come from, what they're looking for, and you'll help guide them. And maybe it's a traditional 4-year college, maybe it's a 2-year program, maybe it's a 5-week program somewhere. It's just until you sit down and talk with somebody, you don't know. You don't know
what their needs are. You don't know what their time frame is. You don't know what other factors affect what kind of educational or training program that they want to pursue. You know, maybe they don't have the time for a 4-year program. Maybe they have time for a 9-month program or an 18-month program. But the process to get into those programs is the same as a 4-year program, and that's what we would teach you about FAFSA and financial aid, how to get the money from different sources to be able to pay for that training to improve your quality of life, improve your employment opportunities.
And I love this because it really does exist like a sister program to the library, where it's lifelong learning, it's barrier-free access. It's taking away those roadblocks that seem impossible. You know, if you're sitting at home and you're like, I know I can't afford it. It just doesn't make any sense for me to pursue this. You're going to show them that that's not true. You know, or I'm not smart enough. I have no experience. I'm intimidated. I can't go there. You're going to take that barrier away from them. So, you know, really, there's no reason in the world why you wouldn't want to come to this, you know. And our young people today, you know, yes, there's the, you know, older students that, you know, probably need to get back into the workforce or change jobs. We all have to be adaptable now, certainly. But, you know, I am concerned about, you know, Conneaut and some of the younger students here, and it really isn't ever too early to start talking about what they like. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your idea about the dream folders and how that comes into play with this workshop?
When my children were younger, they're in college now, but when they were younger, about, well, I don't know, whenever they started showing an interest in a certain type of job, like I want to be such and such, or I want to be such and such, I got them a folder, a 10-cent little folder, you know, when school starts, and they would put in that folder throughout the years different things they're interested in. Like my one daughter wanted to be a chef, so I had her look up, you know, the different chef schools, and she'd print stuff out, or she'd see something in a magazine or a recipe she thought, she'd put it in her dream folder. And as she progressed and maybe some things slid away, some things came forward, she would develop that dream folder. Then when she started looking at colleges, the colleges she liked started going in this dream folder. So eventually she had a collection of things that she aspired to, that she could sift through and say, well, I've kind of outgrown that, or I still like this. You know, even as she goes through college, she started with science and she decided she liked history. And it's good to have dreams. It's good to have a container to have them all in one place.
I love that. And I mean, even, children that it may seem impossible that they couldn't have all, where am I going to put all this, or how's it all going to fit together? This is something that they can take charge of. Even the youngest of kids can have this to really take a hold of their own future. I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, and sometimes they can decorate the folder. At school they often do that with their book covers. They'll put pictures of different things on it, or things that they want to aspire to, like energetic or intelligent, and things that they want to develop in themselves. Is what this dream folder is about. Is about who they want to become and what they want to study or what they want to do.
Well, this reminds me of something that a wise man just recently told me about, setting your goal. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? And figuring out the steps it takes to get there, and then live your life backwards.
Right. And this workshop will give you some of those steps just to empower you, to get the tools you need. Everybody needs a toolbox. Some of the tools are the funding.
Absolutely.
Are the personal inventory. Find out what skills and strengths you have.
And sometimes it's hard to face that. Sometimes we're all human, and it's hard to face that, like to sit down and tell somebody, I'm not good at math. Or face somebody and say, I don't have any money, or I'm whatever, I don't have a car, whatever the issues are. But again, it's just like the library, giving the tool, showing where that information lies, and take those steps.
Sometimes information you can find in the library because you have the occupational handbook. You have the list of employers, the reference list of employers in our community, how many employees they have, what their contact address. So even when you get to that dream and you get that skill, you want to come back to the library and use that as you do your job search. There's a lot of things that this combines with. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the library as I raised my kids just because the resources that were here.
Well, and something else too, I'm going to let our viewers know that if you have community service hours that you need to get, whether it be through school or any place else, and if you need to get these hours in, this workshop is something that the library will sign off on to obtain hours this way. Right now we have 2 scheduled. They're going to be, the first one's on Friday, July 8th from 3 to 4 right here in the library. And the second one is Friday, July 22nd from 3 to 4. And so we're hoping that we probably get maybe about 15 or so people for each one. And again, if we want people that are interested in this, number one. Number two, maybe it's a whole family. I don't know. Or people that, like I said, if you're in high school or you're doing community service through another entity, this could be a way to sit down for an hour and talk with Priscilla and get an hour under your belt that way. Yeah. Because then if that leads to further library research or further way that we could help you, then that's just another way you can continue to earn those hours. So it could work, to their benefit as well. So
and it's the beginning of a journey. It's finding your future, not it's discovering it. It's the process to get there.
And it's never too late.
No, it's never
too early, and it's never too late.
And a lot of people do second, third careers now.
Yeah, and that's the way the world works anymore. You just can't find your job and stay there forever. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't. And it's okay. I mean, it's just things change, and that's all right too. But
it makes it exciting.
It makes it exciting.
Life is exciting that way.
Yeah, it is. And then plus, when we can partner with Kent State and we can bring the people of Conneaut these different things. It just it makes it better for everyone.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can have any other information we can leave here.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
People that stop by too.
Excellent. Right. So again, these workshops are free. You may just show up if you'd like to. We're going to put the information on our website. If you'd like to call the library to let us know ahead of time that you're coming, that would be fine too. Either way, it's going to work for us, and we can't wait to see you again, Priscilla, on July 8th.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I'm
thank
excited.
you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, you caught me. I'm in the middle of getting ready for the 2011 summer reading program, One World, Many Stories. Right now we're in our large meeting room here at the Conneaut Public Library, and it just looks like a meeting room. But what we are doing, Kathy Pape and Kathy's helping out today, what we're doing is we are creating murals that we are going to put up in this room so that we will have one side, the side we're standing in right now will be the CPL cruise line. We're going to decorate this so it looks like the office of a cruise line ship with posters and from around the world, and then on this over in the middle of the room we're going to have a giant ship called the CPL Storyteller. It'll be a cruise ship. The kids will board that CPL story time, and when we go into the other side of the room, each week it will be decorated to represent. 1 week it'll be Finland. 1 week it'll be Ireland. The next week it'll be Italy. The following week it'll be India. And our last week we will sum it all up with our visit to China. We will be doing stories and songs and dances, finger plays, puppet shows, shadow plays, folk tales, and even tasting some food from all of these different countries. The whole summer reading program will end with an international bazaar. It'll be our big carnival, and there'll be a game representing each of those countries, and the kids can go around, play the game, and win a prize. So this is our overhead viewer, and I have a transparency on here that has pictures that I've taken of children from all the different countries I just mentioned. Right now, we're working on 2 children from Finland, a little girl and a little boy. So if you want to walk down here, what this does, it projects it onto a large piece of cardboard, and then we draw it on the cardboard. We paint it, and then, I'll have to go real quick, so we paint it, and then we cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And right now, that's what Kathy's doing, and I'm just about ready to get busy on my little boy from Finland. Although I think I'm going to take the sheep out. I don't think I'm going to have the sheep in there. I'm just going to have him with his gloves and his sweater and his hat. So that's what we're busy doing. We've got a lot of work to complete before summer reading begins on June 27th. I'm going on vacation. Well, not really vacation, but I'm going away for a little while, and Miss Pam's off right now. When she comes back, she's going to be painting. Then I come back next week, and we'll be cutting everything out and putting everything up. It's going to be quite a challenge because each week we're going to be taking decorations down from one country and putting new decorations up for the following country. But I think it's going to be proved to be a really exciting adventure for all the kids who are signed up. We still have some openings in kindergarten and first grade, kids going into kindergarten and first grade. There's openings, a few openings in second and third grade, and we also have some openings in fourth and fifth grade. Unfortunately, our Pollywog program for birth to 4 is already filled up, and I just don't have room or time to add another program. But there'll be another program for those kids coming up in the fall when the kids go back to school, so you'll have to look forward to that. Sign up is usually the 3rd week in September, and we start in October. So right now, I guess I better get back to work or Miss Pam's going to be real upset when she comes back. See you this summer. Bye.
Hi, welcome to Kat
And Kathy.
at the Movies. Travel the world and never leave your easy chair. With the many DVDs that we have and the numerous ones available through our county libraries, you can visit many places. America's Scenic RV Adventures, the ultimate road trip. Cruise ship, an inside-outside look at what it's like on being on a cruise ship. America's RV Adventures, the ultimate road trip. The story of Lake Cumberland, Kentucky's water wonderland, the Grand Canyon and its hidden secrets, America's most scenic drives from Maine to Key West, and our entire Discovery series. They're all available here at the library. Also, we can go across the pond. Israel Today. The Rick Steves travel collection takes you to every country you could imagine. The Seasoned Traveler takes you on cruises. Also available is the Travel Channel's own Passport to Europe, hosted by Samantha Brown. You can travel from Tahiti to the Arctic Passage.
I must confess that I don't have much to add. Everything that Kat did, she did her homework well. She gave me some of these to take home, and I was watching them on TV, and I forgot that I was working, and I was supposed to be taking notes and paying attention. So that's the benefit of taking out a video or a DVD that shows you about other countries and even the states in the United States, because it takes you away to another country. It's on vacation from your living room. So come on in and check some things out.
The world is available at the touch of your remote control.
Good job.
Well, hey ladies, hi.
Hi, Kat.
I had to come over and do my wrap up. I snuck into their frame. We always took RV trips when I was growing up. My parents had an RV, and some of the best trips were just basically the one tank trips, and going to see different things around the state of Ohio. But we traveled all over the place, and it was always so much fun. And I hope this year's summer reading program kind of reminds you that sometimes that adventure can be in your own backyard, But if you have the opportunity to travel, that's great too. If not, this is a great supplement to whatever country or whatever the program is that your child is doing at the summer reading program that week. When they come home, why don't you check out a couple of different DVDs and books and things that we talked about today to add that complete picture of the program. I think that's a great idea. Wow, hey, I like your segment, ladies. This is fun. All right. We hope to see you this summer at the library for our summer reading program. But until next time, we will see you on Library Line.
Way